There's a lot to learn always, especially at the end of the game. It's way better to learn after a win. I think there were so many great moments. I think our team showed a lot of grit. I think the end of regulation, Devin Booker hit one ridiculous three. He hit a second one on a flyby. And then we obviously weren't able to come up with two loose balls, the jump ball, and then the rebound at the end that they tipped in. I thought we executed the final play after that pretty well. The pass was maybe a little bit long, but we got a pretty good look for our best player, which this is probably a good time to mention. Lowry played great. 51 points is a lot, and he did it in a variety of ways, as he always does. He showed a tremendous amount of heart. He was really physical tonight and made a lot of big baskets. I thought Keonte showed so much character down the stretch with a bunch of big plays himself. I think we're all watching Keonte grow up in a really big way. Nurk's minutes in the fourth quarter were terrific. Walker had 4 fouls. We weren't sure if Walker was going to be able to just run the whole way. And so Nurk sat at the beginning of the quarter. He had gotten a pretty bad contusion. And those are tough when you start getting cold, but he came back and he gave us a lot of big minutes. Everybody contributed to the win. And I think after the shock of the end of the fourth quarter, it would have been very human for our team to sort of freeze. And I think that they showed a ton of character in overtime. I thought our fans were tremendous tonight. One stat that really stands out to me tonight is we had 28 offensive rebounds, and that relentlessness is probably why we won the game. Credit to Phoenix. Jordan's a great coach. They're a good team. I thought the plays they made at the end were big. They showed a ton of fight. They brought the best out of us tonight. So it was a great game, 2 big runs in the first half. And there's a lot in that game if you're a fan of the NBA. So very proud of the team for digging out a win. That was emotionally draining.
You mentioned watching Keonte grow up. What has changed for Keonte? Not necessarily on the court, but maybe in his approach.
I think you should ask Keonte that also, but from where I sit, I just see somebody who is very comfortable with his surroundings. I think he's very comfortable with everybody in our organization. Everybody sees kind of the interaction between the players and then the players and me during the games, but what you don't see is the way that the guys interact with all of the support staff, all of the medical staff. I think the way that Keonte carries himself now just shows me that he has a lot of trust in all the people here. He stayed in Utah all summer. He just seems like somebody who's really settled in, and he's sort of given himself to the group. And I think that's hard for anybody to do. I mean, it's hard for me to do. You have to really trust all the people around you, and I think he's gained so much respect from all of his teammates because of his work ethic. He's taken a lot of hard coaching. We've had a lot of very honest conversations. I'll probably say it 100 more times this year, but I'm really proud of that kid. And I think the plays he made down the stretch when we seemed to have nothing going, and you saw the burst, you saw the physicality, you saw somebody who wasn't baiting for fouls, you saw somebody who was really just going to win. And I think his conditioning is something that's helping him do that, but I'm really proud of Keonte.
You mentioned the conditioning. I think he played all but 90 seconds after halftime.
That sounds about right.
What's he been able to do to kind of stay conditioned as he?
Yeah, I mean, he got in elite shape this summer. and he got in elite shape early. He didn't wait for training camp like, oh, I'm going to ramp it up now. Tonight was one of those nights where we had some groups that just very clearly didn't have it going. Keonte and Walt both had fouls, and so we were trying to toggle them back and forth. It's when Walt got his fifth, I didn't want him to foul out too early because then it's all on Keonte, and you can kind of take your aggressiveness away when you know the other guards aren't there. But Keonte has worked hard on his conditioning in a variety of ways. It's not just basketball. I mean, he runs, he lifts, he's done the assault bike, the rower. I mean, he's every form of cardio all summer long. And it prepares him for games like this where you have to go the distance.
With Lowry, do you feel like he's at a higher level than ever before this season? Do you think he's added to his game? And if so, in what ways? And what did you see from his performance tonight? Yeah,
I think Lowry's gotten better every year that he's been here. He works really hard on his game. I think tonight we saw some of the physicality in the mid-range. In particular, the play where he came off a pin from Nurkic and he was actually pretty open, but he drove at Mark Williams and sort of ducked his shoulder. And Mark's a big guy and bumped him off and got fouled. I think he's playing in straight lines better. I think he's playing through that first bump a lot better, where you get rerouted a little bit and you just kind of duck your shoulder and keep going. I think his conditioning is better, and I think it allows him to absorb a lot of physicality. There's running conditioning. Like, I'm okay running on a treadmill, but if I have to block out 3 people and I get chucked on 5 screens, it's over for me. I think Lowry's just enduring all those things. He's not complaining to the officials. He's not looking around asking for help. He sets the tone for us.